What is up, everybody? This your man Dre Mac coming to you again with another episode of the Dre Mac Show. Happy New Year, happy holidays to everybody. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, you're enjoying yourself. You had a good New Year's. Get this light turned on real quick. Hopefully, you guys are really just enjoying yourself. Hopefully, you guys got the day off because I do. It's observed today. You already know what it is. So I'm going ahead and just chill. I'm gonna kick it with you guys since I do have the day off. But today's episode that I'm really gonna go into is I have a wild. This is probably one of the wildest things I've done on my show since I was covering Kevin Samuels. But I have a wild theory that I'm going to put up for you guys. We're gonna discuss it. It's going to be very, very, very controversial. You know what I mean? So hopefully you guys get ready and all of that. But the real question is,
Are you ready?
all right. So let's get right into it. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna hold you guys that long, but this is gonna be very controversial. I'm probably not gonna make a lot of friends at Marvel when I say this, but I was just putting some things together, and I truly believe no other superhero in the world will be killed off if the actor died. Yet, we have this situation with Chadwick Boseman. We know that Chadwick passed away, and that's very unfortunate. It's very sad. And I know people are going to get tired of why you keep talking about recast T'Challa. Well, I think I have a theory why T'Challa never came back. So the topic of the day is why Kevin Feige and Marvel Studios fridged T'Challa in the MCU. And if you guys don't know what fridge means, it is a term that's used in comic book terms. And we talk about fridge, and it actually comes from a Green Lantern comic where they fridged his girlfriend. They put Green Lantern's girlfriend in the refrigerator, killed her, put her in the refrigerator so she can motivate, the character to go forward or whatever as far as like his motivation. And it really just fridges means you're just killing you're killing the character. And again, to pursue the motivations. Now we've seen this happen in comics before. Now, where it's happened in comics, actually T'Challa, in the comics, his dad was fridged, or his dad was killed, so it can motivate him to become, a young king. He was like literally like a kid, like 12, 13 years old when he first, had to take over rulership of Wakanda, and make it to the technological marvel that it is to this day in the original Jack Kirby and Stan Lee comics. We've seen this in the MCU after T'Chaka dies in the UN in the Black Panther movie. That motivates him to be able to go after oh my god, why can't I think? I see his face, Baron Zemo, Helmut Zemo. So it motivated him to go after Helmut Zemo, even though he didn't do anything to Helmut Zemo. Got him locked up. That's about it. You know what I mean? So when I talk about this particular topic, like I said, this is gonna be one of those things where it's gonna be like super controversial to certain people because that's not what I want to show. um, it's gonna be super controversial to people just for the sheer fact is the dots that I'm connecting. A lot of people are not gonna believe where I'm coming from on this, or actually they're probably gonna think I'm very much stretching this out. So let's just do this. Let's get into it. I'd rather get into it. Let me make sure that I've connected the dots. Now, this is why I'm connecting the dots. Black Panther, the movie, was not supposed to be a $1 billion franchise. Um, let me see this. Let me see if I could find an article. Because I wanna see, because I don't believe at the time people believed that Black Panther Wakanda Forever was going to make the money that it did. And let's see, trying to go back a little bit. Okay, there we go. Okay, the numbers.com. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do first. Let me go ahead and share my screen now. Because, like I said, this is going to be kind of controversial on this. And now, let me see. It didn't have like literally when I went to go type this up, it had the expected, and the expected was like 100 and something. See, if you look here, dang it, where did it go? Let me see. That's a Hollywood Reporter. Where was I just at? Did it just go? Did it kick me forward? Or yeah, I'm trying to look at the numbers again. Because it had a number. Okay, if you look here, as expected, crushed the competition on Friday. However, it'd be all but the most enthusiastic predictions to earn 75. I don't think I can't find what it was, what they were predicting it was going to earn. But I don't believe they was thinking that this was going to be a $1 billion box office number. Because the way that it opened up at $202 million. Let me see. Let me see financial information. I'm just trying to find what it was expected to make. Let me see. Opening weekend start off. I mean, when I tell you, inflation in domestic made 704 million, but it came out internationally, and it doesn't show me exactly what the estimated amount was supposed to be, and that's what I was actually looking for. And the reason why I'm trying to find the estimated amount is because it ties in with the article that I found about Chadwick, and the article is going to make sense. That's what I'm trying to find. It's going to make a lot of sense once I find this. Let me see if the Hollywood Reporter had what they were just thinking it was going to make. But let's see. This is when it hit 404,000. Let me see. Definite moment in the Hollywood and Disney Marvel Studios. Black Panther exploded on the President's Day box office, bounding to a record-shattering estimate of $201 million in a 3-day weekend, and a projected $235 million plus for a 4-day weekend, 4-day holiday frame. Let's see. Overall revenue on holiday looks about a staggering 88% over last year, pushing revenue up to date in the black for nearly 7%. Let's see. Let's see if I can get. Let me see. According to planned at 4,020 theaters, Black Panther is being fueled by a diverse audience. According to the ComScore, 37% of ticket buyers were African American. Caucasian makes up the larger group, 35%, followed by Hispanics at 18%. The sort of demographic breakdown is unheard of for a marquee superhero tentpole. This is kind of where I'm getting at. On average, African Americans make up to 15% of the audience for such a fair. Females also turned out in force to see Black Panther herald for its portrayal of strong women, making up 45% of ticket buyers. That share is usually 35 to 40% on superhero movies. Let me see. I mean, when I tell you this movie showed up and showed out, it showed up and showed out. That's why it was $1 million franchise. Now, I want to show you this, and again, I wish I could find. So okay, so Black Panther cost $200 million to make before marketing, which was a bold move on the part of Disney and Marvel's Kevin Feige. I mean, it's going to make sense. So they made a $200 million movie. They destroyed it at the box office, domestically, internationally. They made over $1 billion. You know what I mean? They made a lot of money that they wasn't expecting to make. Maybe 700 million, maybe 800 million, but over $1 billion, they were not expecting that. They were not expecting numbers like that. So why I'm saying this is because this is going to go to the point of Chadwick and why I believe that they fridged this character. But I mean, literally, they had a franchise on their hand and probably a lot of things that they wanted to do, but because of the situation with Chadwick, I believe that Marvel got pissed at the situation with Chadwick because they wanted to make that money and knew without that star they wouldn't be able to make it. Not only that, Chadwick wanted more money. And I'm going to show you why Chadwick wanted more money. So let's just get to this. And this is just showing the negotiation part of the Hollywood side. So is Black Panther Chadwick Boseman about to make the same mistake with Marvel as Terrence Howard? Mind you, this published on April the 21st, 2020. Right? I want y'all to put this timeline in you guys' head. November of 2020 is when we lost Chadwick. Now, let me read this. Chadwick Boseman's future in the Marvel Cinematic Universe might be at an end. The actor is reportedly in the middle of a contract dispute with Marvel that could conclude his time with the studio before the highly anticipated sequel. Is Boseman about to make the same mistake that Terrence Howard, aka the original War Machine, did after Iron Man? Now, mind you, this is showbiz cheat sheet. I'm not saying this like the Hollywood Reporter or any of these places, but this is going to make a lot of sense. This is going to make a lot of sense, and I'm gonna show you why this is going to make a lot of sense in just a second. So Marvel moves forward with Black Panther 2. Black Panther remains one of Marvel's most successful standalone films to date. Let me read that again. Black Panther remains one of Marvel's most successful standalone films to date. Not only did the movie make $1.3 million in the theaters, mind you, it made $1.3 million on a $200 million budget. That's before marketing. So let's just say for the sake of argument, they spent 50 million. I don't know, but they spent 50 million on marketing for Black Panther. Well, if you do a complete estimate, it's $250 million. It still made well over that amount. They made their money back plus $1 billion. You know what I mean? They made their money back. And what Chadwick seen was an opportunity for him to get paid. Now, remember, I want you to keep in mind, please keep this in mind, that Chadwick never told anyone at Marvel about his diagnosis with cancer. And he felt like he can beat cancer, which in turn is noble. I'm not taking anything away from Chadwick in his thoughts about, could he actually beat this? I'm not taking anything away from that. At the same time, Marvel is looking at a franchise on the hand, because if you make $1 billion, you want to make more. It's a business. When people make these movies, it is a business. The more successful your business is, the more you're going to make sequels, the more merchandise, the more they're going to put in advertisement, because they know people want to see these movies. And let's not forget, Black Panther 2 with Chadwick Boseman was highly anticipated because of what happened in 2018 with the first Black Panther franchise. Seeing a Black African king in that realm was absolutely beautiful. And again, it showed you the demographic. 35% of African American women went to go see it, and they said it was about strong women, which it does. But and if any woman in the comment section, you know what I'm saying, while I'm live right now, can tell me that y'all did not like seeing a Black African king as well as strong Black women. You see a Black males, and you see a strong Black male and strong Black males in the film, and you're also seeing strong Black women in the movie. You're gonna watch that, because that's what we preach, having our representation not be a stereotype. Let me reiterate this. Our representation not be a stereotype. So not only is T'Challa, you know what I'm saying, the king of Wakanda, he's the non-stereotype version of the character. So again, they knew, Kevin Feige and Marvel Studios knew that they had a hit on their hands with Black Panther, right? Let's continue to read this. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. Black Panther remains one of Marvel's most successful standalone films to date. Not only did the movie make $1.3 billion in theaters, but it also snagged several nominations at the Academies, including 9 for Best Picture. This is big things for Marvel. Think about this for a second. This is something that is huge in Marvel, because you don't really see this, right? You don't really see anything like this. Now, this is where it gets juicy, because I remember before Chadwick passed, everybody was talking about, are they going to replace him anyway? Now, I want to remind you, they replaced Terrence Howard in Iron Man 2 with Don Cheadle. So don't talk about you can't recast it. You know what I'm saying? Even though War Machine was basically a secondary character or supporting character to Tony Stark's Iron Man, eventually, like Armor Wars, which is an actual comic, you know what I mean? He does have a solo series, and he is a player in Marvel Comics. You know what I'm saying? He's not on the Tony Stark level, but he is a player in Marvel Comics. Now, listen to this. It says, despite the success, Boseman's T'Challa did not enjoy a lot of screen time in Avengers Infinity War or Avengers Endgame. Marvel fans were unhappy with this decision, which has shed some doubt on the character's future in the MCU. Listen to this again, y'all. I'm telling y'all, everybody who's pro recast T'Challa already knew this. This is the stuff we've been talking about. He didn't have a lot of screen time. You're talking about one of the biggest players in Marvel Comics, where you're talking about Tony Stark, Reed Richards, T'Challa, Peter Parker, Bruce Banner, Incredible Hulk. He is one of the main characters, one of the main people. Professor X, you know what I'm saying? Wolverine. You gotta to properly tell the story without with Captain America. You still in the older comics still got Black Panther. Who was the first Black person to lead a all-white Avengers team? Black Panther. So it is a precedence for him to be in these movies. So again, let me read this one more time for the people who said, oh, nobody cares, and you know, and he had his run. No, he didn't. At the time of this, it said Marvel fans were unhappy with this decision, which shed some doubt on the character's future in the MCU, because he didn't have a lot of screen time in Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. He did not have a lot of screen time in the movies. which we've said, we haven't fleshed out this character. The character needs to go on. We need to see how he is as a king, as a husband. Stuff that, I mean, my man Chillmonger has said, Planet Fanatics, E-Man from E-Man's Movie Review, who started the petition. My man SJ. A lot of these guys who's on pre-recast T'Challa has said this. So it's not nothing new. It is not nothing new. So listen to this. To make things even worse, Black Panther 2 is not scheduled to open in theaters until May of 2022. The first movie premiered in 2018, making this one of the longest waits for a sequel in Marvel history, which likely, with filming likely to start in 2021. Marvel has been very tight-lipped about the sequel, and one inside source claims that Boseman is at a standstill with the studio over a pay raise. I'm telling you this. There is a reason why Kevin Feige and Marvel Studios killed off T'Challa. I'm telling you, they were beefing with Chadwick. And to make things worse, this is a theory. I'm not saying this is true. I'm not saying this is just my own opinion based on the information that I have. That is why this is a theory. I truly believed Marvel Studios and Kevin Feige were pissed off that Chadwick Boseman because he didn't tell them about the cancer and he wanted more money. And that's why, because if people was getting ready and they knew, and again, you can say they could have paid the man, but if they would have paid him and he still dies, I know that they were doubly pissed. I'm just saying, Marvel Studios was really pissed off at Chadwick Boseman. Y'all have no idea how much they were. All this, let me, because I'm gonna bring this back up. Let me get back. All this stuff about, yeah, we're gonna honor the legacy of Chadwick. Chadwick is our king. All of that. I'm calling bullshit on that. I'm calling bullshit. And the reason why I'm calling bullshit is because in April of 2020, he was asking for more money. He was asking for more money while he was still going through his cancer treatments. Again, Marvel Studios, Kevin Feige, none of them people knew about any of this. They didn't know anything about his cancer treatment or him being diagnosed with cancer, him going through his cancer treatments. They didn't know anything, right? They didn't know nothing. Yet, they felt like, at the time of this dude wanted more money. He had stage 4 cancer. How dare him? And I could just, again, I put myself in the mind of an executive, a rich, snobby executive who, how dare this person come to us asking for money and there's no telling if he's going to make it by tomorrow. And that's real talk. I'm telling you, after that man died, everybody was shocked. Kevin Feige damn near immediately came out, so we're not recasting T'Challa in the 616. He was pissed. You don't make a haste move like that unless you're pissed. William Hurt died of a heart attack. He didn't die of like cancer or a long-term illness. You know what I mean? So it was easy for him to recast because that character has to be the president of the United States. He has to be Red Hulk, yada, yada, yada. But William Hurt wasn't asking for more money. And he's going to be one of the main characters in that Thunderbolts movie. Why y'all talking about he's not a main character and he this and he that? He's just a secondary character. William Hurt had more screen time than Black Panther in all of his films. And why you think they recast Thunderbolt Ross? They're making a movie called The Thunderbolts, so he could be the main character in the movie as the president. But the King of Wakanda, nah. The dude was asked for money. Why did you think I'm telling you, why do you think they did what they did in that movie? You didn't see Paul Walker die of a car crash in his movie. to honor the character, that is literally showing you I will kill your character off and can't nobody come behind you. That's literally what they did because of the action of Chadwick saying, I feel like I'm gonna beat this. I don't need to tell nobody I'm gonna beat this, and I want more money. Now it's honorable that Chadwick felt like, because anybody with cancer feels like they're gonna beat it. Everybody should feel like that. I can conquer this. I can do this. I'm a warrior. I'm strong. But even the way that they killed the character still didn't make any sense. Because a character with a heart-shaped herb cannot die of illness. The character cannot die of an illness with the heart-shaped herb and the powers of the Black Panther. That's literally why they have the King of the Dead storyline and all of that in the comics. There's literally a precedent for all of that. It's a contingency plan for all of that. It's literally in there. And yes, I did see that. Hold on, I'm bringing a comment up. Yes, I did see what Cat Williams is saying. Recast T'Challa. He knows. You know, Cat is gonna say what he say. It is gonna be real. You know it's gonna be real because he already knows how the industry works, and that's why I'm coming from a strictly thought process of what the industry would do when a person come and ask for more money and you don't tell me what's cracking with you. You something tragically happens to you when you know good and well we have a $1 billion franchise. If you was going to leave the project, you could have left it. We could have been able to do something different. That's why we have this bastard child. This is the reason why that film sucks. Like as far as a Black Panther story, the film itself can be a great story if it had nothing to do with Black Panther. It could have been a great story if it had nothing to do with Black Panther. And I've said that, and I'm going to stand on what I said. But as far as a creative Black Panther story, it is 100% garbage pail juice. That is what it is. I don't care what you say. I don't care what none of y'all come up and talk about, oh, the movie is good. And you just say, yeah, I just didn't want a female Black Panther. We've already told you there's a precedent in the comics, but even in the comics, when he was in limbo and his wife Storm went to go get him out of limbo, he was still the Black Panther, even when Shuri was a Black Panther. So don't come and tell me what it can't be done. All the comments, or well, now you don't trip off the source material now when we tell you what's cracking. We ain't got no problem with Shuri being a Black Panther, but even her character and her story arc was whack. They was gonna have literally Namor and Shuri sleep together. What in what planet do they do that? In what planet do they do that? This is literally what I'm talking about. This literally is the dumbest thing you could have ever done. And it's all because they were pissed off because Chadwick wanted more money. That's all it was. It didn't tell him about his cancer diagnosis. That's exactly what it is. Sorry to tell y'all, they did this on purpose. And I don't want to say a public L word, but if you get what I'm saying, it's a public L word, and Black people all over the nerve, all over America know what a public L word is. Because they will show you, come and play with us. The F around and find out, that's exactly what they did. Sorry, this is what I feel like they did. Because, and like Darth said, what Cat Williams said was true. Christopher Reeves fell off a horse and broke his neck. And they made 5 more, and they continue to make Superman shows and movies. They continued. After Christopher Reeves broke his neck, eventually died, they kept making Superman movies. Or did they not? After Heath Ledger died, they got another Joker movie coming out now. There's been 2 other Jokers since then, since Heath Ledger. Right? They're not going to stop that. They're not going to stop Spider-Man movies. There's 3 Spider-Man, 3 versions of Doctor Strange. Not one variant in T'Challa can be found. That automatically tells you there's a problem. And that is the problem. There are literally why do you think Anthony Mackie, when he was asked, what do you think? Could anybody else be the king of Wakanda? And he said, "Oh no, ain't nobody be the king of Wakanda. I mean, it's Chadwick's the only T'Challa we should have," and blah 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 blah. Because he knew he was getting a raise by being Captain America. They didn't want to step on nobody's toes, because literally, it's hard out here for a black man to get in that position. And Chadwick was literally in that position. That's why they don't want. And I'm gonna just say it. They don't want another black man in that position. You don't kill a character like that if you don't want him in that position. You don't have a variant or anything if you don't have him in that position. I'm just bold enough to say it. I'm bold enough to say it because the evidence is here. And let me get back to the evidence. Let's get back to the receipts. Let's get back to the receipts. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm totally wrong and I'm just a wackadoo and I need a little tinfoil hat. But what does this say? Is Boseman about to leave the MCU? An insider told We Got This covered that Boseman was demanded a pay increase for Marvel, but the studio is refusing to meet his requests. If the reports are true, this is a very similar situation to Howard, who was replaced by Don Cheadle after Iron Man 2. The source claims that Marvel has a backup plan in the event if Boseman leaves. They already had a backup plan. The studio wants to introduce Namor in future projects and have him become the MC. Hold on, wait a minute. What? Listen to this. Studio wants to introduce Namor in a future project and have him become the MCU's top black superhero. Namor was Mexican. Namor wasn't black. Namor was a Mexican. Who wrote this? Look, MCU fanatics. I mean, in a lot of these sources, y'all could laugh, but this was out there in the public eye that Chadwick wanted more money. He wanted more money. Let me see. Which we already know this became the truth. Did any of this not come true? Did any of this not come true? Like literally, this is from April of 2020. Listen, let's keep reading. Namor's name has already popped up in theories regarding the main plot of Black Panther 2. Most of these reports have Namor being the movie's main villain. Him defending Atlantis against Wakanda. We already know they couldn't use Atlantis because they didn't want to confuse because of the Aquaman movie. They didn't want to have a situation where you have Atlantis in the MCU and Atlantis in the DCEU at the time. So they just went with the Talocans. He became Mexican, which I still thought was racist because they come out the water. And what is a racial term that they call Mexicans coming out the water? I'm just saying. Let me shut up. Marvel has not confirmed any of these reports, which we know that they became true. With the movie still under development, a lot could change between now and then when production gets underway. Listen to this. Will Letitia Wright become the new Black Panther? And she did. All of this stuff predicted itself in April of 2020. Although T'Challa was the focal point of the first movie, Letitia Wright Shuri almost stole the show. The actress reprised her role in Infinity War Endgame and will likely play an important part in the upcoming sequel. More than you know. There has been some speculation that Shuri will replace T'Challa as the new Black Panther, though this might not happen until the third film in the franchise, assuming Marvel is planning a trilogy. They literally was already planning this. This was nothing new. They were going to fridge Chadwick Boseman's T'Challa because he was demanding more money. It just like they fridged him in the first movie. You understand? And again, they're using, and let me pull out. I think that I got the that comic up here. Oh, let me go back up and make my screen halfway. Let me see if I got. Okay. They were using. Okay, let me get in the camera. They're using this story, Killmonger versus T'Challa, where in the comic, T'Challa gets thrown off of the waterfall just like in the movie. So They fridged him in the actual movie already. And that's why a lot of people was like, well, damn, he didn't even, we didn't get enough of him because, hell, they threw him off of the waterfall and he was basically dead in the comatose state throughout the whole portion of the film, with half of the film. He wasn't even there. Wasn't doing no Black Panther, wasn't doing no nothing. And again, I understand why, because they were trying to get the Killmonger storyline and stuff like that, and I get it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not really mad at that, but that's the reason why. Let's get back to this. And this is concept art that her being Black Panther. We cannot confirm that Shuri will take on the Black Panther's mantle, but this is something that happened in the comics. If Marvel decides to adapt that storyline in a future film, then the door will be obviously open for Shuri to become the new Black Panther. You know what I mean? And what they really wanted to say, and which is not elaborated, and the Dark Reign storyline is the first time she becomes a Black Panther. In that particular storyline, the reason why she is the Black Panther is because T'Challa was in limbo and had to have the help of the shamans and Storm to pull him out of limbo so he could be able to go and fight against Dr. Doom and make the vibranium. He had to fight against Dr. Doom on that one because it was a fight for the vibranium, and there's a big storyline to that too, which I would highly recommend you guys to read that comic. And literally, this is why the comics are important, because you can go back to the source material. So when they pull bull crap like this, you can be able to call them out on it. Right. So let's continue to read. Until then, fans will have to wait and see what Marvel confirms in the coming weeks and months. And we already know, unfortunately, 7 months later, we lost Chadwick to cancer. Let's hear this. While we wait to hear about Boseman's dispute with Marvel, the actor recently sparked concern over his gaunt look. I'm telling you, this was the concern of Marvel Studios. Taking to Instagram, Boseman shared a photo of himself to promote the initiative, Operation 42, and fans were shocked by how much weight he has lost. I am hearing stories of desperation for people all over the country, and we know communities are suffering the most and urgently need your help. Boseman captioned a post celebrating Jackie Robinson Day, which launched of Thomas Tull's Operation 42, and we know, that was the last time he actually spoke on camera prior to his death. And then it kind of goes into, So let me get off of that real quick. Now, I showed you, because again, with this information, I can positively conclude that Kevin Feige and Marvel Studios were pissed at Chadwick Boseman for the mere fact that he did not tell them about his cancer diagnosis. Just for the mere fact of that, he did not tell Marvel Studios about his cancer diagnosis, and he asked for more money. And they decided to publicly L the character. Darth, I appreciate you stopping by. Let me see what you said. I'm glad we got more black men talking about this for real. Yes, and I don't think a lot of people put this together. I think more people were looking at this and saying, they want to honor Chadwick and yada, yada, yada. They never went back to that story about him demanding more money, and they were already thinking about him leaving the MCU anyway. So if he would have left on his own accord, he wouldn't have died, which he said he was going to come back and do it. But again, the way he looked and remember, this was during the pandemic too, when we all thinking this guy is an actor, people lose weight, gain weight for different movie roles. We just thinking maybe he's on a movie role where he has to lose a significant amount of weight, kind of like what 50 Cent did in that movie that nobody watched. You know what I mean? So we were thinking maybe it was that. You know what I mean? Maybe it was that. And again, unfortunately, we lost uh we lost brother Chadwick a little bit after that, which is still I'm not gonna lie, it's still heartbreaking to know that because of the impact and again, when we look at Black Panther, let's be real. When we look at Black Panther, and I always say because the main character did not get a lot of screen time, that's why people was rooting for Killmonger. That's why people like Shuri. Because he didn't give, the main character, the main person, the screen time that he deserved. When he was first introduced in Captain America, Civil War, the screen time he got, he stole the show. What's up, Blues House? Okay, I spoke about this on my channel as well. There was no honor in the way they did the homie Chad or the character he gave his life to. Exactly. And again, because Blues, he wanted more money and he didn't tell them about the diagnosis, they publicly held that man to show every actor, whether I believe black or white, you're not gonna come and ask us for more money, and you might not even live to see tomorrow. It makes sense, and thank you. I'm just trying to make it make sense, and this is the easiest way that I can make it make sense, because I had to go back through the paper trail, because I'm sitting there and I'm looking at this and I'm like, if I'm not mistaken, I remember they're saying that Chadwick might not even come back for Black Panther 2 because he wanted more money. I gotta find that article. And we already know how the internet is. The internet will bury stories after stories after stories or whatever, because they're gonna focus more on the life of Chadwick, which ain't nothing wrong with that. You're supposed to focus the life of Chadwick. At the same time, they never go back and say, remember when Chadwick wanted more money and Marvel Studios was like, nope. And the way that Marvel Studios felt about that, it was a power play by Marvel. Yes, and remember this. Remember Scarlett Johansson had her problem. And Bob Iger was still the, matter of fact, let me see. In 2020, matter of fact, this is going to answer our question. And I'm going to show you why there was an issue. I'm about to show you who was the issue. Now, remind you, hold on. Hold on real quick. I'm going to tell you who's the problem. Why they was making this power play. It's all going to make sense to y'all. How many people had problems under Bob Chapek? Remember Scarlett Johansson was pissed because they immediately went, I think they did a DVD, they did a, because I bought it, Black Widow. I bought the early, you know what I'm saying, because of the pandemic and everything, I bought the early release to watch Black Widow at home. And remember, she had issues about that because that was not a part of her contract. And she was willing to sue and all of that. And that man right there was running Disney at the time. That's why Chadwick didn't get paid. He probably told them, I want you to kill. If he's going to play like this, I want you to kill off this entire franchise. I don't even care anymore. Even though it was a $1.3 billion, I mean, they made money off of Black Panther. And because Bob Chapek was in charge and Chadwick wanted money and he came to them and said, I wanted more money, that is the reason why Kevin Feige and Marvel Studios and Disney and all of that for his T'Challa. There's your answer right there. That is your answer. All right, and the way they was saying how they was already trying to make sure he the Black Panther in the second movie, they definitely didn't want that man in power. They wanted that for him. Yes. They didn't want to see what it was. What I kept hearing is that you had Robert Downey Jr., major player. And I believe this was E-Man that was saying this. I believe so. But you had Robert Downey Jr. here, right? Chris Evans, right? You had Chris Hemsworth, right? And the reason why I'm doing this is because these are your main guys who is getting paid. It started with Robert Downey Jr. You know what I'm saying? Basically, it was a franchise player. But Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth, and then eventually, what's his name that plays the Hulk? I can't think of his name right now. But why can't I think of his name? But those are your major players getting paid. You know what I mean? Those are the guys who's getting paid. Everybody else, Jeremy Renner, and my prayers are to Jeremy Renner and his family. They say he is in critical condition, but he's stable after having an incident with his piling snow or shoveling snow. So my prayers are with Jeremy Renner and his family right now. But Jeremy Renner, Scarlett Johansson, you wouldn't get paid like the top guys did. So when you introduce like a Black Panther who is a head of a franchise, they didn't want him getting paid like the rest of those dudes because they already made a mistake like that with Terrence Howard. Terrence Howard got his money and they was like, oh, he ain't coming back because he got paid. Terrence Howard got paid more than Robert Downey Jr. But at the time, Robert Downey Jr. was an insurance risk because he was literally the real life Tony Stark. I'm talking about the one from the comics, the Demon in the Bottle. Oh, yeah. Demon in the Bottle storyline, that was Robert Downey Jr.'s real life. Before the Iron Man franchise completely changed his life and his career. Literally changed his whole entire career. Wasn't nobody thinking about Robert Downey Jr. before Iron Man because Robert Downey Jr. was too busy getting in trouble, going to jail, you know what I'm saying, in drugs and alcohol and all of that. And look how it elevated his career, right? Look how Chris Hemsworth career elevated. Now it's going to make me, hold on. Let me go pull up the phone real quick. But these guys' career gets elevated. Trust me. Mark Ruffalo. Why can't I think of Mark Ruffalo's name? Couldn't think of Mark Ruffalo's name. That's my guy too. I love Mark Ruffalo. But not Tobey Maguire. God, I can't think of anybody's name. This is what happens when you work so much. You can't think. I mean, and I'm glad I got a phone so he can think for me. Tom Holland is a you not. If you don't think Tom Holland is getting paid, you're smoking crack. Sony is going to make sure that man stays because it's Spider-Man. And the cool thing is because we came out and showed up and showed out for Black Panther, it made Black Panther on the same level as Spider-Man. Batman, it's a household name. Prior to that, Black Panther was known, especially amongst hardcore comic readers, amongst hardcore Black comic readers, because he was our first Black superhero. But as far as mainstream, and I'm saying this like this, mainstream, the first time he showed up in any publication that was mainstream was the Ultimate Avengers 2. that came out on DVD, and it was a cartoon after the Ultimate Avengers and the Ultimate Avengers 2, because I have that because Black Panther was in it, and it told the story of Black Panther, and it was amazing. It was awesome because it's the Black Panther. I'm a fan of the Black Panther. So when we got the Black Panther in actual real life, it's a major event. We're going to show out, and we did. The numbers proved it. It is not a black film. It's just got black people in it, and we showed up and showed out. So it shows the power of the black dollar. For one, it shows the power of the black dollar. Number two, it shows that a black lead can carry a franchise. Even though we didn't see a lot of them in there, and I really blame Ryan Coogler. I know, and again, I blame it and I don't, because he did, at least he went to the source material on this. At least he did that, even though Nakia is a villain. And Nakia is a villain in the Marvel franchise. And I know that they were probably using Nakia as a love interest because they was unsure if they was going to get the rights to the Fox character so they can have Storm and all of that. But she's a villain in the story. And then they went all downhill with the rest of the crap. So yeah. You know what I'm saying? He's a major player. And we got him for little kids. Think about this. I remember, you know, my own kids, you know what I'm saying, dressing up as T'Challa, naming their dog T'Challa. You know what I'm saying? Naming her, you know, being the Black Panther, right? And I seen little white kids. I'll never forget this. Seeing little white kids in a Black Panther outfit damn near made me cry. Because they're not seeing, you know, a black man in a costume, man. They're seeing what we've been trying to see, man. We see comic book characters even though they're white. Man, that's my favorite comic book. My favorite comic book character is Deadpool. Is freaking Deadpool. I don't care if he's white or not. It's my favorite character. And now little white kids is like, I don't care if it's T'Challa black or whatever. It's my favorite character. Now they can hold their little toy in their hand and see a hero. And then little black boys can see a hero that looks just like them, because that's the privilege white kids have been having for so many years, since the creation of superheroes. Let me get to you, Darth Dre. So if he told them he had cancer sooner, do you think they would have recasted him or made sure he's the Black Panther? I honestly believe they would have recast it. This is the reason why. Just like the example that I made for the Thunderbolts earlier in the stream. The Thunderbolts is going to be a major film. When I say major, and I keep telling people, stop sleeping on the Eternals. That Eternals movie is going to open up a whole can of worms for the future of the MCU. Is it a little boring in parts? Yeah, but dude, you gotta watch it with a cinematic look, not just superhero movie and people punching people and all of that. Look, really watch the story, because everything is gonna flow. Like, actually, when the Mayan citizens, when they were fighting and Druid was mind controlling them and stuff like that, and some of them fled. Those are the ones who fled and eventually became the new Talakans. You know what I mean? That's literally tying the Eternals up to the mutants in to the mutant Namor in Black Panther Wakanda Forever. You know what I mean? But to answer your question, I believe they would. And the Thunderbolts are going to be a big player, because Thunderbolt Ross is going to be the president. They're going to do Dark Reign. And in Dark Reign, instead of Norman Osborn being the president, they're going to use Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross. Then they're going to introduce the Red Hulk in that storyline. So yes, he is going to be big. And like I said earlier in the stream, Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross had more screen time in all of the movies that he's had, you know what I'm saying, compared to Chadwick Boseman T'Challa, who didn't get nearly the screen time Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross has had. And he's been around since 2008 Incredible Hulk. So yes, He is essential to the Thunderbolts. People, these anti-recasters like, oh man, Thunderbolt Ross is just a secondary character. Dude, he becomes the Red Hulk. He's a main character. They didn't make the movie called The Thunderbolts and not have Thunderbolts. They did not have the Thunderbolt Ross in there. They were not going to do that, and knew they weren't going to do that. As soon as I see Harrison Ford name pop up, as in recasting. Soon as I see after William Hurt died, I was like, I bet you they don't do what they did with Chadwick. And I answered my own question because they came out and said Harrison Ford is going to be Thunderbolt Ross because they have to make that movie again because they were pissed at Chadwick and all of that mess, and they put up that hodgepodge Black Panther story again. Bad Black Panther story, good movie if Black Panther had nothing to do with it. That's how I feel on that. But again, because they made this movie the way that they made it, Chadwick Boseman and what he did, for real, honestly, he should have been honest about it. I always felt, and again, I felt like it was a little selfish on his part, not to down the brother because the brother made a decision. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, I felt like if you got something like cancer, you might want to let somebody know, especially when you go on film. Now, mind you, April 2020, he's demanding more money with his representatives. April 2020, he brings up the Operation 42 where he looks sick, and we don't know if it's for a movie role or not. And remember, I think what was the last movie that Chadwick did? It was Marbury something. Oh, let me look at that again. I think it was Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. I don't know what the hell I was saying. So I was thinking that he was losing weight for that role. Remember, the Five Bloods was around that time too, and the Five Bloods was amazing. Boy, I ain't gonna lie, I shed thug tears watching that. Oh my God, I shed tears watching the Five Bloods. That hit me hard. But yeah, I believe they would have. To answer your question, Darth, I think they would have recast. Absolutely. Because then they could at least had a contingency plan and tell you this is the reason why we're recasting. You know what I'm saying? Pray for Chadwick. You know what I'm saying? But the mere fact that he asked for more money and he had cancer and he got aggressive like that, man, they said, okay, I got you. I got everybody. You think you're going to have your hero now? And to me, I ain't going to say that. I'm going to keep that one to myself because I don't want to have any speculation or say anything because I don't want to jump the gun and people say you're using a race card or whatever, but I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go there. All I'm going to say is I've never seen a white character who's died and they use his death as a plot device in the movie. Never seen that. I didn't see that in Fast and the Furious franchise. I didn't see that. Remember, they still had a Joker in the Batman franchise, and I'm talking about Batman, the Dark Knight franchise. They still had a Joker. They never killed off the Joker. The Joker was still in that franchise. So. All right, them using his death as a plot device was disgusting. Absolutely. And again, Blues, I said this and I mean it when I said that was a public L word. And if you know what public L words are from the late 1800s, 1920s, what white people used to do to blacks and have a picnic and chill around and kick it, that's what it looked like to me. And it looked like if you ever dare to step outside of your place, this is what we'll do. We'll kill your whole entire character. Don't you ever come and ask us for money and then you keep us in the dark on secrets like this. How dare you do that? Even when people get caught up. Matter of fact, how much has Ezra Miller done in the DCU and they're still making a movie? They're still made the movie. They didn't scrap this and say, we're going to recast, man. They still made the flipping movie. Nobody said, man, what Ezra doing is crazy, man. You gotta recast this. This is nuts. Nope. Nope. It gives me pause when it's us. All I'm saying is when it's us, it seems like the rules are different. And what Cat Williams said when you said that earlier, Darth, white people keep their superheroes. That actor died, not T'Challa. So why do our superheroes have to go and there stay? The reason why, they were pissed and they were sending a message. And I read the message loud and clear why everybody is talking about all these deflecting things, talking about you're mad because a black woman was going to be the Black Panther and all of this and all of that. Dude, there was no black male representation. There was a strong black male in there. Sorry, Baku was a tool. Was a tool. He was a therapist for Shuri. Killmonger was a tool to be a motivational push for Shuri to make her angry. Wasn't no strong black males helping her out in this. That's why you got to recast the child. I want them to blow the whole franchise up, honestly. Secret Wars, blow that whole entire thing up and start all the way over. Start all the way over from the beginning. Go to Battle World, crash your universes, create Battle World. Because again, Black Panther, and they should have a variant Black Panther, because a variant Black Panther in that in the Dark Reign franchise is essential to the story. It's essential to the story in the comics. Especially, I'm talking about because he wasn't present in Secret Wars in the 1980s. I'm talking about Secret Wars in the 2000s. He's very much needed. And, you know, it would be nice for, and I love Jonathan Majors to have another strong black male going mano a mano mentally with the great Jonathan Majors. And I'm a Jonathan Majors fan. Ever since I seen him in the Five Bloods, and then I seen him the show that was on HBO. Dag nabbit. Now see, this is what you get. This what happens, guys, when you literally work overnight and then have to come do a show in the morning. You can't think. Lovecraft Country. Yeah, when I seen him in Lovecraft Country, I was like, that Negro can act. That's my guy. And then the harder they fall. Let me see. Chapman's resume was way better than all the white leads coming into Marvel's universe. He was already established, and the rest of them all got fame for Marvel characters. Yes. And what brought him to claim the fame, Darth, is he came to Kansas. This is because I'm from Kansas City. So he came to Kansas City to promote 42 because the Negro League Baseball Museum is in Kansas City on 18th and Vine. So that was the first time I got introduced to this brother from 42, and then when he played James Brown. But because he was in Kansas City promoting, and it was all in our local news station, I took an interest into the brother. And the brother is fantastic as an actor. Facts. And that was a good movie. His contour was bogus though, but good movie. So yeah, you know, I'm taking questions right now. I got 5 people in here. Normally, I try to keep these, short and sweet, but I had to bring this out. And again, if my YouTube channel gets to anywhere when I go to, I'm probably never going to be interested. There's Marvel going to be like, nah, go to Sony. Or matter of fact, go do Morbius 34. You're never coming on our red carpet because of what I just put out. But I believed it to be true because the timeline matches. And everything that was said in the article actually happened. Namor, I don't know where they get Namor was going to be a black dude, though. Actually, I thought Namor was going to be Asian. Honestly. I thought Namor was going to be Asian. But yeah. But any of you guys got any questions in the comment section, man? This is a hate because I don't have to go to work. So this is a hangout period, man. I want to hang with you guys. Tell me what you think about my theory. Am I crazy? Am I crazy? Have I lost my mind? I honestly think I'm correct on this. I think I'm 100% correct, on this one. I believe strongly, without a shadow of a doubt, that because, and I'm going to reiterate this for people who's coming in, I believe that Chadwick Boseman asked for more money and they said, I got you. I got you, all right. And I believe it was Bob Chapek that did this. Salute to you, bro. Glad I'm not the only one who remembers that article. Yes. And again, how many people have heard of the issues with Bob Chapek? This is the reason why Bob Iger is back. Because so many problems. Oh, matter of fact, let's just go. You know what? Since I'm here, we hanging out. Let's go to the problems that Bob Chapek had. Let's go to this, and this is the reason why now if Bob Iger, and a lot of people are saying Bob Iger needs to be the one who comes back and says, yeah, we need to be able to change the Black Panther, get the Black Panther back. We'll be willing to do what it takes for the actors. Maybe they need to put a clause in their contracts saying if you do have an illness, and to a certain extent, I'm really not mad at Marvel for rejecting his offer. I'm mad that they killed the character and the way that they did it. I'm not mad because this is just like if I play in the NFL and they do physical with me and whatever, and I never tell them that I had a concussion, and then they're wondering why I can't play in the game because I have these issues or whatever. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm just making something up. And then they release me. I can't get mad at that. I should have been honest with them and up front. You know what I'm saying? Dark, would you say? I love how you, the only person that talked about the animated Avengers 2 movie that was pretty much a childless movie. Yes. The Avengers 2 is awesome. If you haven't seen Avengers 2, it is absolutely awesome. Now, the sucky part is that if you have Voodoo, or if you have Voodoo, or if you have Amazon Prime, it's not on there. I look for it so I can try to get the digital version. But I do have the DVDs, and the Ultimate Avengers 2 is awesome. Love them. I don't see this franchise going any further. They have painted themselves into a corner with the storytelling. Yes, the storytelling is 120% garbage pail juice. 120% garbage pail juice. That's what it is. It's garbage. And they need to fix it because, again, T'Challa doesn't die. But again, actually take that back. Hold up. Wait. I just thought about something. Blue, you got me thinking. You got my thinking cap going on. Storytelling wise, they can fix it. And I'm going to tell you how they can fix it. Moon Knight showed us the perfect example of how you can fix it. Remember in the show Moon Knight, Mark Spector dies. And he goes into the Duat and he sees the hippo goddess and all of this. And remember, Bas and Septic are part of the Egyptian mythology, but the Wakandans worship Bas. And even Black Panther said, when you go to the ancestral plane, Bas and Septic meet you there. You can run to the fields forever. Now, mind you, Mark Spector was pulled out of the Duat, right? Back to life. And one of my followers on Twitter. Make sure you guys follow me at the Dre Mac Show. Let me see if I got this comic. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. You can bring them back. Trust me. Read this comic. They pulled T'Challa from the depths of death. Pull him out with the help of Moon Knight. Trust me. Black Panther. This is during Christopher Priest run. Black Panther number 21. You could bring him back, and they literally showed us bringing back Mark Spector in Moon Knight. So don't tell me you can't bring him back in the MCU. You know what I mean? And you could do King of the Dead, where he's infused with all the previous Panthers that came before him. Oh my goodness, boy. May Kent, what's up? What's up, May Kent? I can see Kevin Feige hiring the next actor to be T'Challa because Ryan and Nate stated they couldn't see themselves hiring the next actor to play the superhero. You said are you saying I can't see or I can see? Let me see. Crazy thing is, in the comics, T'Challa may be the only character that I could think of who has never died, and he hasn't. He's been incapacitated, but he's never died. In Dark Reign, he was incapacitated. He was in limbo. Storm took him out of limbo. In that story, he was basically in the same in a coma, and they brought him back. Now, make it okay. I can see. Okay, so with the story that I just brought up, at the time, Marvel was trying to get, Chadwick Boseman in April, the story was in April of 2020, but I believe it was like May or February or whatever, that Chadwick Boseman was renegotiating his contract with Marvel. He was trying to get more money out of Marvel because the Black Panther franchise just did over $1.3 billion. He just went and did Infinity War and did Endgame. So he went back to the table and said, hey, I can carry your franchise. Let's go and try to move this thing. Let's try to make this thing bigger. And what ended up happening, they rejected him. The reason why they rejected him is because Bob Chapek was the head of Disney Marvel at that time, and he told him no, playing hardball with him, right? Now, mind you, Chadwick did not tell Marvel Studios or anybody about his cancer diagnosis, which he developed cancer in 2016. You know what I'm saying? Literally, right? And if you look, and anybody can see this, in 2016 is when they did Captain America: Civil War. He was a little chunkier, a little more thick. I say he had a little bit more weight on him, some good weight, some happy weight. And then you look at him in Black Panther, 2 years later, he didn't have that weight. So we could already tell he was losing a little bit of weight, but maybe he's getting slimmer. You know what I'm saying? In the comics, Black Panther is not a big hulking dude. He's a slim dude because he moves like a cat, but he's not so slim. You know what I'm saying? To where the point where Chadwick got when he started negotiating his contract with Marvel Disney. And Bob Chapek was probably like, hell no, I'm not giving you jack. You know what I'm saying? And then he ended up dying. And I believe they were pissed because this dude just made you $1.3 million. So it ain't like the Black Panther franchise is not profitable. It's not, but you still need its lead. And when they did with Black Panther Wakanda Forever, really, if you watch Black Panther Wakanda Forever, it's a copy and paste of Black Panther 1. Except this time, it's Shuri instead of T'Challa. It's Namor instead of Killmonger. And the death of his mother instead of his father. It's literally a copy and paste. Derpy 501. Let me see what you guys said. Wakanda Forever was good. Stop complaining about the movie because it should have recast it. Honestly, it's better than a recast, in my opinion, because it would have been a cringe at the point of the MCU. But it's even more cringier to kill a person that is a actor. You know what I mean? Kill the the character along with the actor. That's even more cringier. Just like if I was the head of the Fast and the Furious franchise, and I took the real life death of Paul Walker and showed y'all him crashing in front of a tree, burning to death, while Tyreek sit there and cry. Do you think people who like the Fast and the Furious franchise would like that? Do you think they would like to see a person that has been in the movie since the first Fast and the Furious movie died in the way that he died in real life? And you don't think that's morbid? You don't think there's a problem with that? You can have your opinion, and I'm okay with your opinion. But a person who is a comic book fan, the movie's good, the storyteller with T'Challa and all of that is pure 100% garbage pail juice. That's what it is. If it wasn't called Wakanda Forever and it didn't have the Black Panther in it, then it didn't have nothing in it, good movie. Because it has nothing to do with that franchise. But since it does have something to do with that franchise, and in a morbid way that they killed a character because the actor died, because the studio was pissed that he wanted more money, yes, I have a problem with that. Point blank, period. Will I argue about it? Nope. You can have your opinion. This is where I stand on mine. But no way close in proximity would I ever see a white character like Superman fall off a horse, break his neck, and then die. Because you won't see that. Because Superman is going to last forever. Batman going to last forever. Joker going to last forever. Hell, Iron Man is even coming back in the MCU during Secret Wars. Last forever. So continue to miss me with someone saying, oh, I think my recasting was cringy. They didn't have no problem recasting William Hurt. And that man died of a heart attack, and he died last year. But I guarantee you the Thunderbolts movie is going to continue to roll on. And that's all I got to say about that one. So let me get to these comics. Also, if Jeremy Renner is a critical condition, they said that he was in critical but stable condition. So I am praying for Jeremy Renner because I like Jeremy Renner, man. And nobody wants to hear something like that. Nobody wants to hear anything like that. Now, I said that earlier. Prayers for Jeremy Renner because, man, am I behind? Lovecraft Country, yeah. Jeremy Renner is a good guy, man. He is a very good guy. The only thing to complain about of the film was some of the CGI the CGI in the ending of the movie Shuri taking over that way. First of all, there's a thing called a story arc, right? And when you have a character, you know what I'm saying? When you have a character, you have to be able to see the progression of this character. Shuri went from all of a sudden her brother died and she's just angry at the world, where it doesn't make sense. Go back and a story beat. Just don't watch it as a super. And that's what I try to get a lot of people who follow me, because I'm a former actor. So when I look at movies, I don't look at it in a critic's point of view. I don't look at it in a just a moviegoer's point of view. I come from the actor's point of view. So when I'm looking at an actor, right? Where is this story going? How is the character being progressed? Are they going from one extreme to the next? It doesn't make sense, because that takes away from the actual story. So you could be able to follow the story correctly. So you can see the growth and progression of this character. And you could do it in a short period of time. But it has to be a reason why this character is acting the way that they did. And she went from 0 to 100. It's just because she couldn't save her brother. Nobody going to burn the world down because they couldn't save anybody. They're going to be deeply hurt, but the motivation behind it makes no sense. I'm going to give you an example on a character that was angry, and you wonder why towards the end of this movie, why the character's motivation changed. I'm going to give you a character, and this is my favorite movie of all times. 1990 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. There is a scene from the beginning of the movie. You're like, damn, man. Literally, Raphael's like, damn, you lost society. He's snapping on people. Like, what is wrong with you? He goes out for a walk, gets his ass whooped by Casey Jones. When he walked in, this is where I said story matters, right? In that small scene where Splinter and there's no action going on. There's no kicking, no punching, no nothing. Two characters. Two flipping pop. One is a puppet. One is a dude in a rubber suit. They have the most realest conversation ever in that movie. He said, your anger. It ain't just talking about your anger, how it consume you. How you will forget about your loving because you're going off of emotion and not logical thought. And when you're going off of your life, when you're going off your emotion, you'll forget about all of us, because only thing you can think about is yourself, and you're selfish. That's why he says, and when you face your anger, when you finally face who you really are, do not forget about your brothers, and do not forget about me. And that's why I'm here for you. It literally in 3 minutes sums up why this dude is angry, why he has this emotional attachment, and why he, towards the end of the movie, he started to change and lighten up a little bit. That's what storytelling does. And when you don't tell the story the way it should be told, you're going to have a problem. So her going from 0 to 100 still made no sense. It didn't make sense story-wise. Okay, so sorry. Was perfect in my opinion, and that's cool. You can have your opinion. That's cool. If you like it, hey, cool. I like. Again, I say I like the movie if it wasn't a Black Panther movie, because I would have liked it. It would have been cool, and that would have been it. But since it's a Black Panther movie, I don't like it. Let me say it like this: the cinematography and all of that is absolutely gorgeous. The storytelling is, because the story has to revolve around a character that dies, and the actual actor died in real life. You're not paying attention to the story because you're thinking, damn, they're still talking about this person that really died in real life. No, I don't like that. That's dumb. I'm sorry. That's stupid. Darth, keep up the good work, bro. I just followed you on Twitter. Keep up the content. I would like to hear you talk about other Marvel movies and DC content that you got. And I will be talking about Ant-Man and Quantumania next. I'm going to be talking about Wolverine and Deadpool. Oh, especially with Deadpool come out, because anybody knows that Deadpool is my guy, and I most definitely will be talking about Deadpool and the Wolverine movie and all of that and other stuff. You know what I'm saying? So make sure that you follow the channel. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, because I will be bringing more information, more movies, more comic book stuff. You know what I'm saying? In the future. Blue's House says Shuri has never had a hero's journey. That's why the movie was bad. She was just thrown into being great, and that's true. Even if you look at the Black Panther series that was written by Reginald Hudlin, her ambitions to be Black Panther was so great that she kicked her brother out of Wakanda. People forget that, because it was either the nation of Wakanda go broke, or Dr. Doom takes over all the vibranium mines. It takes over Wakanda, which in the Black Panther 2099 actually happens. So when they did that story, he had to make the vibranium, innate. He can't use it, just so he can save his people. And Shuri led a charge to kick him out, and then she had to tuck tail and bring him right back in. So no, she's never had a hero's welcome. Not until she became like a shaman. The way her powers are now, it's like a warrior goddess shaman type, which is dope. That's what they should do with Shuri. Shuri's new power, and I got Shuri's run, her solo run. Her powers are dope. That's the Shuri that I want to see in the movies, not this Shuri. I don't want to see the Shuri. I have a big problem with Ryan placing the character's real life death in the movies by killing off the fictional character. Yes, I have a problem with that too, Mary Kent. I have a huge problem with that. They can bring him back with a new body but have the same soul, making him the King of the Dead. Simple. The King of the Dead storyline is literally the easiest MacGuffin that you could possibly pull. But no, they're too busy. This is what I got a problem with Ryan Coogler. This is what the problem that I have. The problem that I have with Ryan Coogler in the Black Panther franchise is because the Black Panther is supposed to be the anti-stereotype, right? He is literally the anti-stereotype of all Black characters. This is the way that Jack and Stan wrote him and drew him. This is the way the character is supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, I'm sorry. I was just trying to make sure that y'all had another comment that I got to your comment. But the way that they made him, he wasn't no baby daddy. He didn't have no seeds running around here. You know what I'm saying? And the rumor was that Ryan wanted to make him where he got dusted, but he had a baby with, her name is Malice in the comics. She's a freaking nutcase. Like she should be a villain. Do I got that comic in front of me? Do I got that comic with her in the front? Let me see. Yes, I do. This is Nakia. Let me see. They name her name. Well, her name is Malice, but that's Nakia from the comics, and she goes into a love triangle between T'Challa, Storm, and her because she's a nutcase. She's never. Why would you make the person that's the anti-stereotype that wouldn't even sleep with that woman without her being a queen? Why would you make him a baby daddy so he come back and now he got a child running around and you want to make another basically Thor Love and Thunder with a child on his hip so y'all can go fight? Come on, Ryan. I get it. I get it. You made Creed like that, and you made Fruitville Station. Well, Fruitville Station is kind of different because that's a different story. But you made Creed like that. This ain't Creed. He's not. He's the anti-stereotype. I know somebody baby daddy. That reminds me of that episode of the Boondocks when Uncle Ruckus found that he was black. And the first thing he said was, what am I supposed to do? Be somebody baby daddy? That's exactly what you're doing with T'Challa. I can see that with Falcon, Luke Cage, Blade. Not T'Challa. Not T'Challa. Miles Morales wouldn't even be a baby daddy. You know what I mean? He wouldn't even be a baby daddy. I can see Luke Cage. Sweet Christmas. He liked that coffee. You know what I mean? But I can't see T'Challa. So when I seen this, it's terrible. Because that's not the character. If you collect comics, that's not the character. It's not. And again, I tell people I'm gonna just put that over here. This dude beat all of them with this. And we all know what the Fantastic Four, if you're a comic book fan, you know what the Fantastic Four represents in the comics. They're literally like, Reed Richards is the smartest man in the world until he met T'Challa. And that comic proved it. Fantastic Four number 52 proved it. Before he met T'Challa, he was the smartest man in the world. Did you ever see T'Challa in the MCU use his intelligence? No, they gave that to Shuri. Because we don't want to show... And this is the thing again about storytelling. Do you know two people can be smart at the same time? And I'm going to give you a prime example of that. Spider-Man, No Way Home. Three-part Peter Parker's in there. All three of them highly intelligent. Did nobody say, well, I got to make Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man less intelligent than Tom Holland's? Or, what's his face? I don't know. I'm just saying, I seen three Spider-Man, they were smart. But then you can't have Shuri and T'Challa be smart at the same time. These are the stereotypes that we fall in, man. I mean, F them stereotypes, dude. When are we as black characters going to get away from the stereotype? This is the reason why I love Chadwick so much as far as an actor and an actor's point of view, because he never took roles that diminish black people, that may put black people in a bad light. And that I can respect. But then you have Ryan Coogler writing him in a bad light. If you think about it, now they didn't do it in the first film, but the second film, hell, I would have read this one like, man, what the hell are you doing? I'm not about to be somebody baby daddy. What is this? This is dumb. If I'm Chadwick Boseman, man, I don't want to read this. This is stupid. Why everybody gotta have a kid? You know what I mean? My man Chillmonger, what's up? My man Chillmonger in the house. So I can see Chadwick Boseman looking at that script like, nope. And I think it hurt the storytelling because Chadwick would have had input in Ryan's in Ryan's storytelling. Hold on, did I miss your comment? Oh no, I didn't. But yeah, he would have had input in the storytelling of T'Challa because I believe he understood the character. Chadwick, I guarantee you, he could have talked. He could have talked to Christopher Priest, Ta-Nehisi Coates. You know what I'm saying? Any of these guys, it could have made that better. When I say he wants to make the four Black Panther, I'm gonna be honest, and I said this on Twitter. I don't want him touching that franchise. I don't. I rather someone else come in and write. I got what you're saying, May Kent. And again, I'm coming as a fan, as a comic fan first. I don't think Ryan, and I hate to say this because it's gonna make it seem like the white dudes knew more about T'Challa than the black dude, but it's true. The Russo brothers wrote T'Challa exactly how he's supposed to be. T'Challa is literally, if we go in hero to hero, Black Panther in Marvel is what Batman is in DC, and that's the easiest way I can explain it. That's what he is. He's calculated. He don't joke. I got the Black Panther versus Deadpool comic, right? I got that comic run. That's one of, it's not the one of the sillier ones because Thanos versus Deadpool is absolutely hilarious. One of the greatest Deadpool comics of all time, seriously. But in there, Deadpool even jokes, you're nothing like your comic counterpart. I mean, like your MCU counterpart, because you're fighting. You know what I'm saying? He's like, you're a lot nicer in the movies. Him breaking the fourth wall, because in the comics, T'Challa don't play that ish. He don't play games. He will beat your monkey ass to get you up out of Wakanda. He do not play about his people. He would beat your ass, hand it back to you in a silver platter. He do not play about. I mean, if you read this comic, he beats the brakes off of Deadpool. Deadpool can't die, then he becomes Pantherpool. But that's a whole. You got to read the story. I'm not gonna ruin that story. But yeah, he don't play, and we seen it in Infinity War, where he was like, all Thanos was gonna have is dust and blood, and was ready to go to war. You know what I'm saying? And he was boarding off Wakanda. You know what I'm saying? To basically shoehorn them in so he could be able to have the advantage on getting the Thanos. That's the cold calculating part of the Russos wrote him better. Sorry. The Russos, especially in Captain America Civil War, man, everybody was excited about Spider-Man showing up, but when Black Panther showed up, dog, killed him. Deadpool mentioned Ta-Nehisi Coates and T'Challa was like, y'all were friends. Yeah. Dude. If anybody read that comic, I'm telling you, it's one of the best comics ever. It's one of the best. It's just because the first time you see T'Challa and Black Panther, well, actually, you don't. The first time T'Challa interacts with Wakanda is in the Cat Trap Part 1 and 2. The only difference is that it was Killmonger he interacted with in that storyline, because he's trying to steal Killmonger's panther or his leopard in the story. You know what I mean? And it wasn't T'Challa that he was interacting with. So that Deadpool versus Black Panther is, I'm telling you, it is a comic to read. It is freaking amazing. But if you want to read a really, 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 really good Deadpool comic, read Deadpool versus Thanos. Oh my God. Oh my God. So yeah. All right. Any more questions? That's the only thing about that arcade. I'm sitting there, I'm looking in the back, I'm looking at the camera, but I'm looking in the back like, what the hell is that? I ain't got Pac-Man. I'm like, oh, I forgot. This might be switching to I don't have it on Mortal Kombat 2, so it's going through its different games. So yeah. But anyway, any questions, any comments, man? I'm glad that I got the day off today So I like doing these lives. I like hanging with you guys. Let me see. Chillmonger, how often would you do these streams? Careful of burnout. I am doing the streams Monday through Friday. But normally the only reason why this is going long is because I'm off today. So normally it's about 30 minutes that I'm doing a stream. You know what I'm saying? To kind of get my point across or whatever. Normally I would just do the video, but I fall asleep during editing and it takes me longer to get the videos out because I'm doing them at work. And people don't know. If you don't know, the reason why I do them in the morning is because I work 11-hour shift at the Ford manufacturing plant. So when I get off of work, I'm literally like, okay, let me get my topic together. I do my video, I edit, gotta wait for it to render. By the time it's rendering, 8:30, I go to sleep. It's hard for me to get the video up because either I'm asleep or it takes forever. So that's the reason why. So it's easier for me to do like a live show. You know, people can catch it on a replay. Like they catch my unboxing for my TMNT Secret of the Ooze figures. I did an unboxing for that. That was the first time. So, and Chillmonger, I ran a podcast for 4 years before I took a hiatus last year because of the podcast. I was doing a lot of social commentary, a lot of stuff with like just Black issues and stuff like that. And I wasn't happy doing that because I like talking about comic book movies and comics and toys and different things like that. So this is more my lane, my passion. So my burnout, you know, I thank you for telling me that. You know what I'm saying? My burnout would be, you know, if I don't have just nothing to talk about. And when it comes to comic book movies and stuff like that, there's always something to talk about. And I just don't focus on Recast T'Challa or anything like that. There's plenty of stuff that I'm gonna talk about. So just hang with me, kick it with me. If you're new to my channel, just hang with me, kick it with me. I talk about all kinds of different things, especially like I said, that was the first time I did an unboxing. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, when I get newer stuff in, newer toys, especially I'm getting ready to move here in a couple more months. So I'm going to be shutting this down. A lot of this stuff is going to be packed up and I'm getting ready to move. And I will most definitely do, when I get new Transformers coming in, most definitely do unboxing and stuff for that too. So yeah, and then Transformers Rise of the Beast is coming up. So yeah, I got a lot of stuff that I can talk about, a lot of stuff. And this lane keeps me busy, and I like this lane. I like it. So yeah, any other topics, any other questions, you know what I'm saying? You know, feel free. This is a chill out time. I'm probably going to get out of here probably in the next maybe 10 minutes. So I want to, you know, sit with you guys and chill, man. I appreciate, you know, you guys stopping by and being in the comment section. Everybody who commented. If I agree with you, if I disagree with you, it's all good, baby. I love everything. I love everybody. Just because I disagree with you doesn't mean I don't like you. You know what I'm saying? We just have a difference of opinion. We agree to disagree, and I can keep you pushing. I love it. You know what I mean? So yeah. Also, I was just recently on TMZ as a guest social commentator. I was asked to come back on in January. So if I do come back on TMZ, I will let you guys know so you guys could check out me being on TMZ. And matter of fact, if you didn't see it, let me play it now just so you guys could check it out. Let me see. I don't know why I did this in the comment section. Let's just play that video real quick. And it's a short one, so because I got to the point, let me just play that right quick.
But sometimes I feel like he needs to pick his battles a little more carefully and just be a little more thoughtful, because this one, it seemed pointless to me, honestly.
He does want to do that, Fabian. I think it's because he has felt like that has happened to him with his last few comedy specials.
Sure.
So that's the platform that he's standing on now.
Hey, I'm Dre from Kansas City, and with Dave Chappelle, honestly, Dave Chappelle has always went against the grain. And with this Eli thing, yeah, it's kind of weird, but if Dave Chappelle can't save you, nobody else can. So I just think we need to kind of give him a little bit of break. But I mean, Elon's a little socially awkward, but if Dave can't save you, no one can. So
that might be. Well, I mean, he is the richest man in the world, so I don't know how much saving he needs.
That room looked awesome, by the way. The Mortal Kombat game in the back. You see that?
You like that? You saw those video games?
Jealous. Yeah, very jealous.
Well, maybe sounds like Mike's coming over your place.
Yeah, where are you?
And Mike most definitely can come over and get whooped in Mortal Kombat. That was awesome, though. That was a cool time to be on TMZ. So yeah. What are your thoughts on the dunk contest and the All-Star Saturday? Man, I don't even look forward to the dunk contest anymore. It sucks. It sucks. I like the skills competition. I like the 3-point contest, but man, the dunk contest, what more can you really do? As far as the dunk contest, what really more can you really do? But skills challenge, 3-point contest. I do like the All-Star game because they do play for charity. You know what I'm saying? My man Jason Tatum. I'm a big Bulls and Celtics fan, but my man Jason Tatum is out here balling. Go Celts. You already know what it is. You know what I mean? If you follow my channel, you know what I like. And Celtics and Bulls. The Bulls ain't been doing too good this year, but that's okay. We still got time. You know what I mean? But my Celtics, even though they got beat last night, it's all good. You know what I'm saying? Big Celtics fan, go Celts. And please don't leave because I'm a Celtics fan, because a lot of people are not Celtics fans. You know what I mean? So anyway, any other questions, comments, concerns? What is the next? Matter of fact, is anybody catching Willow? I think I might talk about once we're finished with Willow, I might go. If you're watching Willow, I might go and talk about Willow and the hits and miss of Willow. The actual series, because it's based off of the 1988 movie Willow. So the new show is out on Disney Plus. We might talk about that. Trying to think of what else was coming out that I was going to talk about, but yeah. But yeah, oh, that's what I was gonna do. I had this up. Before I go, let's talk about all the things. Let me see. I'm gonna go down. Let's go here. This is one of the reasons why that Bob Chapek wouldn't want to pay anybody. The Jamaica upheaval comes 11 months after Iger left Disney, and days after Chapek said he planned to cut costs at the company, which had been burdened by the swelling costs at its streaming service Disney Plus. Earlier this month, the company's earnings vastly underperformed Wall Street's expectations. Even its theme parks business, which reported a surge of revenue, delivered less than what analysis had projected. Iger's return also comes as the legacy media company contends with its rapidly shifting landscape as ad dollars dry up and consumers increasingly cut off their cable subscriptions in favor of streaming. See, this is the thing. Chapek was named chief executive February of 2020, succeeding Iger. Remember what I said when Chadwick went to go to the negotiating table? It's around that time that Chapek became the CEO of Disney. And he's the reason why we had so much overflow in content with Disney and Disney Plus. Is because of that. And that was Chapek was trying to burn through all of this stuff and trying to get all these projects out. And this is the reason why Phase 4 looks the way it looked. It's because of Chapek. So you want to know why? You know why Kevin Feige was fridge? There you go. There you go. Okay. The NBA should ask players to send videos of their dunks for. Man, last year sucked. I was like, why am I watching this? Last year sucked. It sucked. And again, I'm a little older, so my NBA, when I used to watch the dunk contest, the major players was in the dunk contest, the Dominiques, the Jordans, and all of that stuff, man. And Dwight Howard went in the dunk contest, Vince Carter, you know what I mean? Stephon Marbury was in it, Stevie Franchise. I don't know, half of the dudes would be in the dunk contest. Like, who is this dude? Oh, he's coming off the bench? Yeah, I'm cool on that. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But yeah, so anyway, I am about to get on here. The time is now 8:16, and in 14 minutes, I have to hear Skip and Shannon argue about what's going on. Nah, they not completely. Last year had some good dunks, but on her 6th try, yeah. And by that time, I'm checked out. I'm checked out by that time. If it ain't good on the first try, I don't want to see you do it over and over again till you get it right. No, you should have got it right the first time. You know what I mean? So yeah. I'd rather see the mascots dunk off of trampolines or watch some Harlem Globetrotters before I watch that. truly will watch that. But anyway, let me get off of here, man. I appreciate everybody who stopped in, man, in the chat, hung with me, man. Normally this is the time that I started to lay it down, watch some Skip and Shannon before Skip and Shannon watch me. If you're new to the channel, make sure that you like, share, subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell notification so you never miss one of my videos. Make sure you are checking me out on IG. If you follow me on, if you want to follow me, you can follow me on IG at The Real Dre Mac. If you want to follow me on Twitter, it's at The Dre Mac Show. So just make sure to follow me, man. You know, I'm not MT, so I'm not about to tweet some weird shit, but I will tweet some stuff from time to time. So just check me out, man. Let's have a conversation down there, man. And I appreciate everybody hanging with me today. Without further ado, I'm going to let you guys go. Like I said, man, I'm kind of happy. Honestly, technically, this is the largest crowd I've had going live in a long time. So I appreciate you guys again. Peace, vibe higher. Happy New Year to everyone. Shalom from the bottom of my heart, man.